Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Minecraft video, and today we're checking out the new 1.17 snapshot, also known as the 20W45A snapshot. Okay, so here we are in the snapshot, and we're gonna go from the smallest things all the way up to like the big things that the snapshot is really about. So yeah, there will be timestamps at the bottom of the description if you want to skip ahead. But first things first, we have like this cauldron, and this is just a new little feature you can add to the game now. You can now add lava in a cauldron, and yeah, it does act just like a regular cauldron and regular lava. So you will burn if you fall into it. So yeah, I don't know how this would be used, but it is a new feature and a nice feature you can use to store your lava. So yeah, the cauldron stuff is pretty cool, but if you come over here, I do have the spyglass in my hand, and you see that little like blue thing all the way over there. Now if I use the spyglass, you can see it actually perfectly clear. Yeah, you can see those diamonds over there perfectly clear. I believe those are like 300 blocks away or something crazy like that. You can see really far, and you can see as far as your chunks can load. So if you set your render distance up to 32 chunks, then you can see 32 chunks clearly at the edge of that with this spyglass. But if you only set it to 8 chunks, then you can only see the 8 chunks. Yeah, I don't know. It is a really cool feature. Like, you can scout stuff from really far away, but that does depend on your render distance. And yeah, I mean, the spyglass is a really cool feature to use. Again, I've set my render distance back down to what I usually have around 9 chunks, and now you cannot see those diamond blocks. But if you were to set them to 32 chunks, you could see, I think it's like 250 blocks away, because that's how many blocks it's rendering. But let's move over to here, where we have bundles. And bundles, they're just an easy way to store a stack of items in your inventory. So like, yeah, so you have a bunch of cobblestone you can put in a bundle, but I don't know, that might not be as useful as, you know, having a bunch of random stuff. Bundles are really used, so you know how this bundle takes up 1 inventory slot, but when you click it, you have a bunch of stuff in there. Yeah, you have 8 other stuff in there. Yeah, so this can hold up to 64 blocks or 1 stack of anything, so it would be 16 ender pearls, 16 iron bars, 64 of any regular block, or 1 of the non-stackable items. But yeah, it's just a nice way to clean up your inventory, as you can quickly go through and, you know, put everything in 1 bundle. So if you just have a bunch of stuff, random stuff, you can fill your inventory with it. But yeah, it is 1 stack. It's not like 64 of every item, it's 1 stack of every item. So that means you can only put 1 non-stackable item, like a fire resistance potion, in there, and then the bundle will be full. It is a new addition to the game, and it's actually pretty easy to gift stuff to people. Like, say you want to give them all of this stuff, instead of having to go and throw it all out like that, it's gonna waste some time, you know, and all that stuff. All you really need to do is put it all in 1 bundle. You know, you need to just put it all in 1 bundle, and then you can give them the bundle. Yeah, so the bundle is pretty cool. Next thing we have are candles. Candles are another addition to the game, and yeah, these can be placed down, and they have a bunch of different colors. Every die has its own color. Only problem is you can't mix the colors together. I hope Mojang fixes this, because then that would be a really cool addition to the game, where, you know, you can have a bunch of different colored candles next to each other. But yeah, if you grab the flint and steel, you can also light them up. Like, you can light up the candles using a flint and steel. If I make it dark, you know, now you can see that's a lit up one, and that's a lit up one. I do believe that they give off some light. Try it over here. Yeah, so they give off the normal amount of light as regular, and yeah, they actually do look pretty cool. Lit up candles do look pretty cool. Put a blue one down and light it up. Yeah, it's just a nice new way to, it's a nice decoration block that can also light up your house. And yeah, so now there's really no need for torches unless you're going mining and stuff, because you can just make these candles and put the candles there in your house instead. Next up, we have these things over here. This is called Tinted Glass, and what it does is it does not let light through. So you can see when I break that, you can see the light that this glowstone is giving out, but when I put something over it, it covers it up. Okay, so you can see that there's no light source coming out, even though there's glowstone there. But if I break it, you do see the light that from the glowstone that does come out, and then when you put it back on top, it covers it all. So yeah, this tinted glass blocks every single amount of light that comes through it, but you can still see through, which is also pretty cool. Next up, we do have this amethyst right here. So this is one of the big things that we were talking about in the Minecraft live event. So if I go into survival, you can see now that, you know, I have a pickaxe, and this stuff is mineable, that stuff isn't, and I'll show you the differences in a second. But yeah, this is your amethyst block, and this is your amethyst budding block, along with your amethyst crystals. So yeah, if I be really quiet, you should be able to hear the sounds that it makes. Yeah, you could use them in some chapters or whatever. But yeah, coming over to here, we do now have these amethyst crystals, and you can only break the big ones. If you come over to here, you can see this is the smallest one. Actually, no, they've all grown, haven't they? These are the smallest ones over here. And yeah, and then over here, these are a little bigger, and then I think that one is a little bigger. But then, yeah, up here, we have the biggest crystals. If you break them, the pickaxe, probably. They do give off amethyst shards. So yeah, these amethyst shards are used to make this tinted glass over here and the spyglass over here. Yeah, and breaking the amethyst crystals also have a pretty good sound. The big ones are the only ones that give you it, and you'll know because if you start breaking the smaller ones, it takes longer to break. And I think that the breaking animation is outside of the block. Mojang will have to fix that. But yeah, these are all just snapshots, and you cannot break the budding block. You can try to, but it will just break and shatter like glass would. Alright, I hopped into a train, and you can see this is what the amethyst generates like. This is what it looks like, and with the amethyst comes two new blocks. We have the tough block and the calcite block. So yeah, the tough block goes on the outside of this amethyst crater. I don't know, it looks like the crater broke open over here. Ooh, some diamonds. But yeah, it looks like the crater broke open over here, and now, you know, just this stuff right here. But yeah, it does come with these two blocks that protect the amethyst. There are tough blocks and the calcite blocks. This tough block is the outer layer, and the calcite block is the inner layer. Oh, and some copper. This is just like the best place right now to be for the new snapshot because everything is spawning here. And yeah, here are your amethyst blocks in action. You can break most of them, but the ones that these are sitting on, you cannot break. The texture is a little different. This one has like that star in it that the normal amethyst block don't, so you might want to be careful about that. But yeah, and these do give off a little bit of light. I did forget to mention that the amethyst clusters do give off light, and in creative mode they can be placed anywhere, but they cannot spawn anywhere. Yeah, this is the amethyst generation. It is pretty cool. It does kind of look like a meteor fell down from the sky and went all the way underground. Some worlds have it where they spawn really close to each other. This one does not. Like you can see for a far distance, these are 8 chunks by 8 chunks. There is no more of these amethyst craters, I should say. So yeah, they are a little hard to find, but they're also pretty valuable and pretty actually useful. Yeah, that is really it for the amethyst. And moving on, last but not least, we do have some of the most anticipated blocks in the game, the copper block. So yeah, there are 4 stages to the copper. This is your copper that you get from these ores right here. So when you mine it, you would get the ore, and then you would have to smelt it like usual, like any iron or cold ore would. But then once you get copper ingots, and those copper ingots can turn into these blocks right here. So copper ingots only turn into these blocks right here. This would be the copper block, and this would be your waxed copper block. There is no difference except that when you put honeycomb on a copper block, it makes it so it locks it in place. It's kind of like a locking agent, so you know it won't rust over time more. Like if you put it right here, then it'd only be this color forever, even if this copper block became that copper block over time. This one would stay there because you waxed it or like you coated it. And yeah, that is pretty cool. And then there are also variations of this in cut and waxed cut copper blocks where, you know, these ones are cut, these ones have like a design on them, and these are the blocks. These cut and waxed cut copper blocks are the only ones that can be turned into these slabs right here or the stairs over there. You cannot make just copper stairs. So, you know, you have these cut copper blocks right here, and these ones up top are the waxed ones. There is no physical difference between them. These both are copper blocks. This one is just waxed. So yeah, you know, you'd never be able to know. But yeah, also, as I said before, you can only make these cut ones can only be used to make these slabs. You cannot have just these copper slabs. But yeah, the copper is pretty cool. I don't know, there might be copper armor. The copper armor is not in the game yet, so you might want to look out for that. But yeah, this is all that's in the snapshot for now. And last but not least, we do have these lightning rods. If I click the button, it does get sent over there. I don't think these are functional right now because of the fact that, you know, this is set to strike at this point right here, but if I put like some above it, see that when I press it, it does go down. So I don't know if these are functional yet, but you know, they are pretty cool and they will be functional soon, which will be really handy in protecting a house, like in protecting a wooden house or whatever, where if you put it like in the chimney, because your chimney is probably made out of bricks and bricks don't burn, you can put a lightning rod there, so in case your house ever does get struck by lightning, it'll only strike the rod and the bricks, not your actual wooden house. Okay, so that first section was recorded before the 20W26A snapshot came out, but during editing it did come out, so I'm just going to go over the quick things that came out in that snapshot, which is really this powdered snow. So, you know, you can walk inside the powdered snow, and this is like a trap where without anything on, you can't get out. Like, it's impossible to get out of this, and you can walk through it, but, you know, you're stuck in here, so you have to walk out of it. But yeah, also this will bring with it a freezing effect, so if you're going to survive when you run in here, you can see that it slowly zooms you in and slowly freezes your screen around you, and then in a minute you will start taking freezing damage. Which, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty cool feature where, you know, if you get too cold, you'll freeze, and I don't know, they might do this with stuff like in the mountains, so you can die from this. And when you come out, you get like this slowness effect, which slowly wears off as, you know, you heat up. Yeah, so this is really the big thing that got added is the powdered snow and the way they can use with it. So if you put on some leather boots, you can run on it. Like this way you're not stuck in there, you can jump up on it. And yeah, if you can go down in, and you can come up and you can run on top of it. Running on top of it does not make you freeze. I don't know, in my opinion, it should make you freeze a little, because, you know, you're running on something cold. But yeah, so you know, you can stand on top of it and stuff. So, you know, if you're gonna go explore in the mountains, you might want to bring a pair of leather boots with you. Every piece of leather you put on makes it a little longer for you to freeze. So you see, I'm in it with full leather armor right now. You can see how much slower I am freezing. Is a lot slower, and yeah, it just takes a lot more time. And yeah, every time you take damage, it's less. So you can, you know, you'll freeze slower if you do get stuck. So you have a chance of getting out. But yeah, so if you're gonna go exploring in the mountains, I would say bring some leather armor with you, so, you know, you don't freeze to death and stuff in there, and you can run on top of the powdered snow. But this does also give a use for leather armor now. So yeah, I mean, I guess, because leather armor has been pretty useless, other than if you find a cow, and that's the only thing you can find. But most people go straight to iron armor, so leather armor will be good for exploring mountains and stuff. But I guess in this video, and if you do, then hit that like button down below and share it on my channel, and please subscribe. YouTube told me that about 70% of you aren't subscribed, and I am trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of December. So if you guys could subscribe, that would be really great, and that would really make my year. But yeah, also with notification bells, you guys can find when I upload, because again, my upload schedule is really random right now, so I do not have like a certain date that I'm uploading on. So yeah, you should hit the notification bell so you guys do get notified when I upload, and so you guys can watch the videos early. But see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.